Hello and welcome to my new show, Pro-Indian Nations. Today I'm trying to decide which area of India I want to see. I'm stuck between the Vedic Age, which is known for its delicious cuisine, Mauryan and Gupta Empire. I might as well sit down with my alcohol and watch all of these boring clips.
Hello, my name is Kamala. Please come visit us in the Mauryan Empire. We are so lonely commuting back and forth between America and India for our job. We love food and have lots of free time, so it would be a perfect fit. We can become best friends, eat, and learn about our culture.
Gupta founded this first empire in 321 BCE. The Mauryan Empire, which at first only unified northern India, later gained control of the entire subcontinent, excluding the southern tip and the Himalayan mountain range. The empire was divided into provinces, which were controlled by viceroys. The provinces were divided into districts, then villages. The government also utilized a vast spy network to make sure the viceroys kept their allegiance to the king. The central figure was the emperor, followed by the priests, who had high political standing. The Mauryan Empire set in place a council of ministers, who the king used at his own discretion. The government was split up into different departments, which worked on different topics in the empire.
If you come to visit us, we can meet famous people and eat, best of both worlds. The most famous person in our society is Ashoka. He was instrumental in spreading Buddhism throughout the region. Look, here he is now.
I am Ashoka, the third emperor of the Mauryan Empire. I conquered more than any of my ancestors and single-handedly converted the empire to Buddhism. You see, I used to be a power-hungry man, but after seeing how bloody and destructive war could be at the Battle of Kalinga, I converted to Buddhism and devoted my life to knowledge. My ancestors also had some impressive accomplishments. Chandragupta Maurya was the founder of the Mauryan Empire. He was the first emperor that was able to unify most of the Indian subcontinent. He also led the Battle of Ipsus, a battle where he gave war elephants to Silesius I as a gift for agreeing to a peace treaty. My dear friend Katalia was the prime minister of Chandragupta. He wrote a document regarding how to properly maintain power in an empire. We also had different people working in our government. The priests also held high political standing. The Mauryan Empire set in place a council of ministers, but the extent to which the council was used depended on the king. The government was split up into different departments who worked on different topics in the empire.
These great leaders not only drove this nation towards success, but they also created monumental architecture and complete social changes. Ashoka's conversion led the nation to a more peaceful path. His ideology could also be found on the pillars of Ashoka, which proclaimed his Buddhist beliefs. He distributed them throughout his empire. On our tours, we can visit their cool sites. Be sure to look out for the construction, upkeeping of roads, irrigation projects, and rest houses that the treasurer and chief collector spent 1/4 of total taxes on.
Where's the important stuff? Like, how does all this awesome food get there?
While the main source of trading was the Silk Roads and Indian Ocean trade, which continued to grow, the environment allowed for cultural diffusion along the Silk Roads throughout Asia and the Middle East, which further added to the diversity in India. This diversity brings in not only many types of food, but different art styles, including the ones from which Ashoka's pillars were styled. They built many roads, including the Royal Highway, which connected two of the biggest cities, Taxila and Pataliputra. The emperor engraved the ways in which the people were supposed to act on stone pillars and rocks. And lastly, don't worry, the women can do all the cooking, and since they have such few rights, since they cannot inherit property or learn to read and write, all they can do is cook and watch children.
The above text is the direct translation of the first 7 pillars that Ashoka created after converting to Buddhism. Dhamma is a complex word that means the laws of the nature and the universe. This primary style shows Ashoka's submission to higher power, as well as his quest to continue his further knowledge. As well as learning for himself, the king wanted his subjects to practice Buddhism as well.
Okay, boring. Now on to the next video.
Hello, I'm Chandragupta I. I was the founder of the Gupta dynasty that rose in 320 CE. We love food here and you, so we want you to come visit us.
The Gupta Empire had a similar political system to the Mauryan. The key differences were the Gupta's heavier reliance on the caste system and that government officials were now paid in land grants rather than cash. The Gupta Empire, having been modeled after the Mauryan Empire, shared many social characteristics with its predecessor. They occupied the same territory, continued a similarly styled government, and treated women similarly. However, the people of Gupta were exceptional cavalrymen, showing the use of an army once again.
The Gupta Empire was on the Indian subcontinent starting in the Ganges plain bordered by the Himalayas in the north and the Narmada River in the south. The steppes bordered the Gupta Empire in the northwest, and the Huns, who were nomads living in the steppes, invaded the Gupta Empire and eventually defeated them in 1550 CE.
Now let's talk about how wonderful I am. I found the whole Gupta kingdom with its capital at Pataliputra in 318 CE. I stretched the kingdom from the Ganges River all the way to the Allahabad. I am just so awesome. I also held an assembly of counselors and members of the royal family at which Prince Samudragupta, a great warrior, but not as great as I am, obviously, was formally nominated as the successor of the Gupta Empire.
Don't listen to him. I was the best.
What is this, a catfight?
Hi, I'm Samudragupta. My passion of conquest was so great that I did not rest until I captured almost all of India. I was not only a great warrior, but also a great patron of the arts and literature. My successor was Chandragupta II. He conquered as many as 21 kingdoms and made the empire secure and encouraged trade.
Oh God.
I think I tell my story better than he does. I came to power and conquered kingdoms, which further expanded the empire. However, in 550, the Huns took over my beautiful kingdom. In conclusion, the Mauryan and Gupta era of India has been described as India's intellectual golden age. But you should only visit the Gupta rather than the stupid Mauryans. We speak the new language, Sangam. The only cool thing about the Mauryans was that they had Arthashastra. He was a literary marvel who knows how to rule politically. Now, some background.
The guilds and merchants in the Gupta Empire had a large impact on the economy. They participated largely in the manufactured goods industry. The textile industry was also significant during the Gupta Empire. They produced silk, muslin, calico, linen, wool, and cotton textiles. The Gupta were able to easily transport goods throughout the empire using the roads and large animals to carry the goods. The Indian Ocean was a major trade route that the Gupta had access to, and they were able to trade with China, East Africa, and Southeast Asia.
The Gupta Empire was primarily Hindu, and its rulers brought back the use of Vedic texts. The Brahmin priests had a major influence over society, and they brought back the use of a caste system. The Brahmins were rewarded with land use for their help in society regarding religious aspects. However, the emperors of the Gupta Empire were religiously tolerant and allowed the practicing of Buddhism and Jainism along with Hinduism. The Gupta Empire developed new Hindu temples and statues for the people to worship.
The use of theater states to attract attention from outside empires allowed the people to perform and witness many ceremonies and rituals. Lastly, though the Mauryan Empire suppressed women's rights, the Gupta Empire brought the concept to an extreme with a new ritual of sati. Sati is the purification of women by burning themselves after the death of their husbands.
Out of the Gupta Empire came important innovations such as the concept of zero, the decimal system, and the Arabic numerals. Surgeons during this time were able to heal broken bones and began using herbs to treat illnesses. The Gupta Empire was a golden age for culture, where education flourished in topics such as mathematics, medicine, astronomy, and grammar. Architecture flourished with the building of Buddhist stone temples and sculptures and the introduction of Buddhist murals. The Gupta also created a number writing system. The Gupta saw a time of cultural resurgence.
Hello. Come visit the Gupta Empire because you're the best food and are the best overall.
This primary source was written by Fashin, who wrote the Travels of Fashin while navigating throughout Buddhist nations. Fashin was a Buddhist monk. This document shows the Gupta Empire as a prosperous nation, perhaps due to the concept of teacher states. Due to the beauty described, one can assume that the state has a lot of wealth, which is due to trade. Also, the needy are given help, which is a key concept of Buddhism.
This is going to be a tough decision.